You're listening to Bodhi Light Tales, the podcast for mindful people on the go. Hi, this is Miao Guang. Today's Bodhi Light Tale is 3 times 8. Once upon a time, there lived a man named Yan Hui, who was among the 72 disciples of Confucius. Yan Hui was praised by his teacher for having the virtues of a noble man. He was strict in discipline, always open to advice from others, unconcerned about fame and wealth, and diligent in his cultivation. One day, Yan Hui went into town to run some errands. As he walked past a fabric shop, he heard the shopkeeper arguing with a customer. "I already told you it will cost $24 for 8 meters. The customer yelled in reply, "No, 1 meter costs $3, so 8 meters should be $23. Why should I pay you $24? Yan Hui couldn't contain himself. Feeling the need to stand up for the shopkeeper, he said to the customer, "Excuse me, sir. I think you got it wrong. 3 times 8 is 24, so you should pay him $24. The customer stared and pointed his finger angrily at Yan Hui. "Who are you? You have no business interfering in this negotiation." Then, having recognized Yan Hui as one of Confucius' disciples, the customer continued, "If anyone is qualified to settle this matter, it would be your teacher, Confucius. Actually, why don't we go together now and ask him?" Yan Hui looked at the shopkeeper, who nodded in return. Turning back to the customer, Yan Hui said, "All right, let's go. But what if Confucius says you are wrong? What will you do then?" "If I'm wrong, then I will offer you my head." "But what will you do if you were wrong?" the customer replied. Yan Hui answered, "If I'm wrong, then you can take my hat, which my teacher gave to me as a symbol of being one of his best students." When they arrived at Confucius' place, Yan Hui first explained the situation to his teacher. When he was finished, Confucius smiled and said to Yan Hui, "You lost. 3 times 8 is 23. Now, give this man your hat." Speechless upon hearing the verdict, Yan Hui nevertheless did exactly as instructed out of his respect for his teacher. However, in his mind, he still wondered why his teacher would make such a decision. "Is my teacher getting old and confused?" Yan Hui thought. Feeling lost and unsettled, Yan Hui decided to make up an excuse to go home for a few days. As he went to bid his teacher goodbye, Confucius knew exactly what was going on, but he simply decided to let him be, and only gave Yan Hui the following parting words: "Though an ancient tree, one shall not stay under it. Furthermore, do not act upon killing someone unknown." Yan Hui nodded and replied, "Yes, master." On his way home, clouds gathered, the sky quickly darkened, and a thunderstorm was heard in the distance. Yan Hui hurried and hid under an ancient tree with a hollow trunk. At that precise moment, he remembered his master's words, "Though an ancient tree, one shall not stay under it." He quickly stepped away from the ancient tree. As he did, lightning struck, and the tree exploded in 2 pieces. Yan Hui, shocked by what just happened, decided to waste no time getting home. Soon he arrived home, and as it was near midnight, and he did not wish to disturb his wife, gently opened the front door. When he entered the bedroom and saw 2 people sleeping in bed, he was furious He reached for his sword. But at that moment, he remembered his master's words again. Do not act upon killing someone unknown. He left his sword and lit a candle. To his surprise, the two people sleeping were his sister and his wife. Yan Hui felt ashamed and decided to go back to his master to apologize and express his gratitude. Upon hearing what happened, Confucius said, I am glad you have returned safely. I knew exactly why you wanted to go home. Let me ask you a question. What is most important to you? Your life or your hat? My life, of course, Yan Hui answered. His master continued, You are right. When I said 3 times 8 is 23, you lost only your hat. But had I said 3 times 8 is 24, then the customer would have lost his life. The moral of this story is to remind us that in this world, there is no absolute right or wrong. It is only a matter of stance and perspective. Sometimes in life, between right and kind, we need to choose kind. Just like Yan Hui and the customer in this story. Who is really right? And who is really wrong? 3 times 8 is commonly accepted to be 24, for it is based on the principle of mathematics. However, to Confucius, it is 23, for he saw it from a perspective of what is truly most important, a life of others. Most of us have the tendency to jump to conclusions, dealing with things without thorough and wise consideration, more concerned with what we lose rather than gain, thereby hurting others and even ourselves in the process. Before making any decision, we should ask ourselves, what is most important, your life or your hat? Just as Venerable Master Xing Yun says, he who creates a win-win situation is a true negotiator. He who helps others succeed develops utmost affinity. This is Miao Guang. Thank you for listening to Bodhi Light Tales. Subscribe to us and have stories delivered to you every week. May your day be filled with happiness and wisdom.